Recent months have seen growing concerns over the health of British royal family members. Official representatives of Buckingham Palace typically prefer to either deny any rumors or remain silent, avoiding comments. However, if one looks at the situation from another angle, it becomes clear that something more serious is hidden behind the facade. Indirect signs and circumstances leave no doubt that the family is facing serious medical issues, particularly concerning Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge. Prince William and Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, embark on a 2-week holiday. Official sources claim that the couple's holiday coincides with their 3 children's school break. However, according to information from a journalist with Spanish roots, Ms. Calleja, there is more to this holiday than meets the eye. She reports that Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, recently underwent surgery related to her illness. It is worth recalling that on March 22, 2024, the Duchess publicly spoke about her health issues, sparking a wave of rumors and speculation. Following this announcement, a series of strange incidents occurred. Some sources claimed that Catherine had disappeared for a while, and the photos published in the press and on social media could have been cleverly manipulated. These rumors caused a wide resonance, and the royal family found itself under intense public scrutiny. Several months have passed, but the situation does not seem to have improved. Catherine continues to undergo treatment, raising more questions about her actual health condition. Many people have begun to wonder how serious the threat to her life is and how it might affect future events in the royal family. Particularly concerning is the fact that on September 9th, the Duchess of Cambridge made a public statement announcing that her course of treatment had been completed. However, just 2 months later, rumors resurfaced that her health remains at risk. I cannot express in words what a relief it is to finish the course of chemotherapy, Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, wrote in her official statement on the platform X, formerly known as Twitter. But now, with new reports of her struggles with recovery, many are asking, was the treatment really completed, or is the Duchess hiding the true state of affairs? King Charles III temporarily halts treatment for international tour. Equally concerning news involves the health of the monarch himself, King Charles III. Sources report that the king has decided to temporarily halt his treatment related to his diagnosis to fulfill his royal duties. For 11 days, Charles III will forego medical procedures to travel to Australia, where he will participate in important events, including the Commonwealth Summit. The 75-year-old monarch, who was diagnosed with cancer at the beginning of the year, has been undergoing regular courses of treatment since February 2024. Despite the seriousness of his diagnosis and the need for constant medical supervision, the king has decided to embark on an international tour. On October 18th, he will arrive in Sydney, followed by a trip to Canberra. Afterward, he will travel to Samoa for a meeting of Commonwealth heads of government. This decision has sparked a wave of discussions among experts and royal enthusiasts. How can a king, at such a critical stage of treatment, pause his course to fulfill state obligations? And at what cost to his health? Despite all assurances that the king feels satisfactory, there is a well-founded concern for his well-being. Queen consort Camilla, age-related risks. Moreover, it is impossible not to mention Queen consort Camilla. Her advanced age has become another cause for concern. Despite remaining active and regularly appearing at official events, her age, 76 years, raises questions. Many wonder if she will live to be 90, like her predecessor Queen Elizabeth II, or if her health might suddenly deteriorate. All of this raises questions about the future of the British monarchy. With each new report on the health of its key members, the public becomes increasingly concerned about what awaits the royal family in the near future. Only time will tell how events will unfold, but it is already clear that the health of the monarchs has become a subject of intense scrutiny as never before. Buckingham Palace continues to withhold details about the type of cancer King Charles III is battling, as well as information about the specific treatment he is undergoing. However, it is known that the monarch previously underwent surgery on his prostate, which may be related to his current diagnosis. The king's health remains a topic of discussion, although the palace prefers to keep this matter in the shadows, limiting access to details. Initially, it was planned that the royal tour would include a visit to New Zealand. However, during the summer months of this year, it was decided to cancel this visit. This decision sparked numerous rumors that the cancellation was due to the deterioration of the monarch's health, although official sources did not confirm this version. Nevertheless, the cancellation of a visit to such a significant Commonwealth country as New Zealand caused a resonance and drew attention to the question of how seriously the king's health affects his international activities. Return to treatment after the tour. After completing the royal tour, Charles III plans to return to his private Scottish residence in Birkhall, where he will resume his course of treatment. This moment will be an important stage in his battle with the disease, as the treatment was temporarily halted to fulfill international obligations. The king, despite his age and health condition, continues to perform his royal duties, but after returning to Scotland, he will likely devote more time to his recovery. Reception at St. James's Palace. On October 3rd of this year, King Charles organized a reception at St. James's Palace, dedicated to representatives of the Commonwealth diaspora. This official reception was a significant event where the monarch demonstrated that, despite his illness, he remains in good spirits and an active participant in public life. During the event, the king even showed off his dancing skills when he received an impromptu lesson from a professional rugby player from Samoa. This moment garnered many positive reviews in the press, highlighting that the king, despite his condition, maintains optimism and a willingness to participate in cultural and social events. The king was accompanied by his niece, the Duchess of Edinburgh Sophie, and the Duke of Kent. Their presence underscored the importance of the event and demonstrated the unity of the royal family in supporting the monarch during this challenging time. Queen Camilla on the king's health. Sky News reported that in June 2024, Queen Camilla stated in an interview that her husband's health was satisfactory, but he was not inclined to slow down or follow all medical advice. Camilla noted that the king, despite numerous recommendations, continues to actively participate in public life and does not shy away from his duties. This statement evoked both understanding and concern among the public, as Charles, despite his resolve, still requires careful medical supervision. First public appearance after diagnosis. On April 30, 2024, Charles III made his first public appearance after his diagnosis. He visited the Macmillan Cancer Centre at University College London Hospital. This event was significant not only for the monarch himself but also for the entire royal family, as Buckingham Palace announced that Charles had become the new patron of the charity organization Macmillan Cancer Support, which supports cancer patients. This step was seen as a symbolic gesture, showing that the king is not only battling his own illness, but also actively supporting those facing similar challenges. Since then, Charles has continued to participate in various public events despite his condition. One of the significant events was his trip to France, where he participated in the 80th anniversary of the D-Day landing in Normandy. He also attended a British memorial service in Vers-sur-Mer, honoring those who died in World War II. These trips underscore his commitment to fulfilling his royal duties despite health issues. Work schedule and family advice. Despite numerous recommendations from both family members and royal advisors to reduce his work schedule, Charles III continues to maintain his usual routine. He actively participates in state affairs, attends public events, and is not quick to give up his duties. This evokes both admiration for his persistence and concern from his loved ones and the public. The question of how long he can sustain this pace remains open, but the king clearly has no intention of backing down in the face of illness. Camilla and the legal status of her marriage. Queen Camilla, although not facing obvious health problems, still faces questions regarding the legality of her marriage to King Charles. Their marriage was conducted in a civil ceremony in 2005 at Windsor Guildhall. However, this union continues to raise legal questions, as according to the Marriage Act of 1753, members of the royal family can only marry through a religious ceremony. This provision calls into question the legitimacy of Charles and Camilla's marriage. In 2005, the Lord Chancellor attempted to challenge the legality of this union. In 2005, the Lord Chancellor made an attempt to challenge the legality of this union, citing a violation of historical law. However, this initiative caused concern among palace officials, who believed that such actions could lead to legal proceedings affecting not only the marriage of the king and queen consort but also future issues of succession and royal titles. As a result, this matter was left without further development, but similar legal disputes could resurface in the future. Thus, although Queen Camilla does not face direct threats to her health, her position in the royal family remains under close scrutiny due to the legal nuances of their marriage with Charles. According to the established rules of the British monarchy, the spouses of reigning monarchs hold the titles of Queen Consort or Prince Consort, depending on their gender. This important distinction underscores the status of the monarch's spouses, without making them equal rulers. For example, Prince Philip, the husband of Queen Elizabeth II, was known as the Duke of Edinburgh, not as a king. This tradition has continued for centuries, and in no case do the spouses of monarchs receive titles implying participation in governance. The last queen consort before Camilla. The last queen consort before Camilla was Queen Elizabeth, the wife of King George VI. She received this title after their marriage and held it until her husband's death in 1952. After George's passing, she became known as Queen Elizabeth the Queen Mother to avoid confusion with her daughter, Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth the Queen Mother enjoyed enormous popularity in the United Kingdom, and her figure became a symbol of stability and continuity of the monarchy. Camilla's rise to popularity. When Camilla married Prince Charles in 2005, her position in the eyes of the public was ambiguous. Many long associated her with the complex relationships within the royal family, especially considering the scandalous divorce of Charles and Princess Diana. However, as her role became more visible, Camilla's popularity began to rise rapidly. After the wedding, she began to fulfill her royal duties with dignity and restraint, gradually winning the sympathy of the British people. By the end of 2021, public opinion polls showed that attitudes towards Camilla had significantly improved. According to a YouGov survey, she rose to the 10th position in the list of the most popular members of the royal family, surpassing even Prince Andrew. The latter had lost a significant portion of public support following high-profile allegations and scandals related to his personal life and connections with Jeffrey Epstein. This rise in Camilla's popularity was an important sign that the British were beginning to accept her as a full member of the royal family and a potential queen consort, despite her controversial past. The future of the monarchy. What awaits us? Discussing the future of the British monarchy, one cannot ignore the question of how the royal family will change after the departure of its key members. It is quite possible that in the near future, we will witness the departure of several conservative figures from the deck of cards of the British crown. This could happen for various reasons, both due to health conditions and political or legal issues. Firstly, after the passing of Charles III, serious political disputes may arise within the country. Questions related to his decisions, including those about his marriage to Camilla, could be challenged. Despite this union being officially recognized, the legal and historical nuances related to the Marriage Act of 1753 could become a reason for new discussions. It is quite possible that opponents of the monarchy or certain political forces may use this issue to question the legitimacy of some of Charles's decisions. Moreover, the departure of some members of the royal family could change its structure. Prince William, who is already seen as a reformer and a person ready for change, will likely become a central figure in the future of the British monarchy. He enjoys broad support both within the United Kingdom and abroad, and many see him as someone who can modernize the institution of the monarchy while preserving its historical significance. Prince Harry, despite his complex relationship with the royal family, remains a central figure in the media. His place in public life will likely be preserved, even if his formal connection with the monarchy becomes less significant. Harry, being a rebel and a figure embodying more liberal and modern views, will continue to be an important element in public discussions about the future of the royal family. Princess and at risk of departure? Princess and, the sister of King Charles, has always been known for her dedication to royal duties and active public life. However, there is a theory that after William's ascension to the throne, he may send her into retirement. This hypothesis has been discussed for several years. If William decides to implement reforms in the royal family, and may be one of those who step down from the front lines. Despite her unwavering dedication and the respect she has earned, her age and William's desire to rejuvenate the image of the monarchy could lead to a reduction in her public duties. Political disputes and legal questions after Charles's death. After the passing of Charles, political disputes may arise within the country. Primarily, these could be related to challenging the decisions made by the king, especially those concerning his marriage to Camilla. As mentioned earlier, the legal aspects of this union could come to the forefront again. Despite this issue being resolved during Charles's reign, after his death, certain political figures may attempt to use it to re-examine specific aspects of royal power and its legitimacy. Additionally, new challenges may arise regarding how the monarchy is perceived within the country. The house that Queen Elizabeth built began to show cracks even during the life of her son Charles. Conservative forces in British politics may try to preserve the monarchy in its traditional form, while more progressive forces may push for reforms or even a complete re-evaluation of the role of the monarchy in modern Britain. William, reformer or defender of traditions. Many observers wonder, will Prince William be able to strengthen the monarchy and preserve its significance in the face of modern political and social challenges? William is already seen as a more modern and progressive figure than his father. His popularity is high not only among the British but also among the younger generation. Whether he will continue his father's traditions is a big question. Changes are not just looming, they are evident. Camilla is shocked by Charles's decisions. Despite becoming queen, she essentially has nothing left. Since Charles's ascension to the throne, he has implemented a series of unexpected changes in the royal family's way of life. One of the most significant was the redistribution of roles within the firm, thanks to which Prince William and his wife Kate were able to take on more responsibilities. Many believe that this is Charles's attempt to modernize the monarchy and shift the focus to the younger generation. However, these changes have not been without disputes and contradictions, especially for Camilla, who is the queen consort. Her role in the family seems to have been reduced to merely being the wife of King Charles, and the decision to transfer some royal duties to the children has caused tension between them. This situation raises questions about Camilla's position and future as queen consort, especially in light of the fact that it is the next generation that will take the reins of the monarchy. Camilla's difficult situation. Camilla found herself in a difficult situation, trying to find her place in the constantly changing world of royal life. Starting from a secondary role, she rose to the status of queen consort, which was far from an easy achievement, especially considering how she was perceived by those around her. She was called a Rottweiler, blamed for Diana's death, considered an evil stepmother and an intriguer. From the very beginning, her presence in the royal house was surrounded by disputes and ambiguity. As a woman who played a key role in the history of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, Camilla repeatedly faced criticism and negative attention from the public. However, by marrying Charles, she made every effort to change public opinion about herself. She took on royal duties, engaged in new commitments, and gradually began to win recognition both within the royal family and among the British people. Nevertheless, with the coronation of King Charles, Camilla felt marginalized and pushed to the sidelines. Despite all her efforts, she continued to search for her place in this world. While Charles focused his attention on Prince William and Catherine, it was not easy for Camilla to achieve the influence she sought. Becoming queen consort, she faced numerous trials and obstacles. Camilla's mission. Camilla decided for herself that her mission was to support Charles and contribute to the well-being of the entire country. However, the memory of Princess Diana is still alive in the hearts of many, making the position of the new queen consort complex and ambiguous. Facing harsh criticism and rejection, she changed her approach. Instead of giving up, Camilla decided to focus on charitable activities and try to stay away from excessive public attention. Gradually, her image began to change for the better. She invested a lot of effort and energy to earn respect both among the members of the royal family and the wider public. After Charles became king, people's attitudes towards Camilla became more positive. However, despite this, some still look at her with distrust and suspicion, not fully accepting her in the role of queen consort. Facing these challenges, Camilla continues to search for her place and role in the new era of the monarchy. Camilla becomes queen consort. When Charles ascended to the throne, Camilla became queen consort. She realized the enormous responsibility that now rested on her shoulders, to be a reliable support for the king, actively participate in charitable projects, and attend numerous public events. The role of queen consort is a heavy burden, but she understood that it was a well-deserved reward for all her efforts to strengthen her image and position within the royal family. However, as Camilla became accustomed to her new role, she began to realize the reality of the situation. Despite the prestigious title, it became clear that her influence in the royal family was not as great as she had expected. The duties she thought would be extensive and significant turned out to be limited. Even after years as queen consort, it seems that her opportunities are severely limited, and she cannot fully realize her potential. Since Camilla assumed this honorable position, she has faced one of the most challenging tasks. The necessity to make decisions related to royal duties. Instead of granting her more authority, Charles decided to transfer responsibility to William and Kate. From his perspective, this step was justified because they represent the future of the monarchy and enjoy greater popularity among the people. Charles aims to modernize the royal family, focusing on the younger generation to maintain the relevance and significance of the monarchy in the modern world. For Camilla, however, accepting this situation has proven extremely difficult. Despite all her efforts and achievements, she often feels overlooked and undervalued. Although she holds a high position and commands a certain level of respect, she still feels that she remains in Charles's shadow. In the current circumstances, Camilla is uncertain about her role and significance within the royal family. The title of queen consort may seem prestigious, but historically, it has often meant merely supporting the monarch without real power or influence. This can be traced back to previous queens who also faced limitations and expectations associated with this role. Understanding all this, it is no surprise that Camilla feels anxious about her future. When a person in a high position shows signs of ill health or weakness, it causes concern among those around them. The thought that Charles might leave this world frightens her. She fears that he may become unable to fulfill his duties or, even worse, pass away prematurely. Losing her spouse is not just a deep emotional shock but also a serious blow to Camilla's status within the royal family. If events unfold faster than expected and Charles can no longer perform his duties or passes away, Camilla's role as queen consort could change dramatically. Her significance may diminish if William ascends to the throne. She risks being relegated to the background when William and Kate take on their new responsibilities. These thoughts undoubtedly weigh heavily on Camilla after all her efforts to establish herself and gain the support of the public. Prince William has taken on more responsibilities, indicating his readiness to become king in the future. The royal family must adapt to the challenges of the modern world, and Charles aims to make the transition of power as smooth and painless as possible. He actively supports William and Catherine, helping them prepare for the future, but he does not attempt to radically change the monarchy. Charles reflects on how the royal family can evolve and adapt to the coming changes while preserving traditions and the respect of the people. Thus, Camilla finds herself in a complex and ambiguous situation. She must find her place in the new era of the monarchy while dealing with her own doubts and anxieties. Her story is one of struggle for recognition, significance, and influence in a world that is constantly changing and presenting new demands.